we're going to do a spoiler-free and a bit of a spoiler review in one, but they'll be separated. And if you've seen us do this before, it's for a good reason. Welcome to another episode of the Popcorn Confessional, and this is Dave from Nerdbox, and I'm accompanied by my wife Jen, also from Nerdbox. And on this episode, we are talking about The Nun 2. So fire up that Jiffy Pop and meet us in the booth.
This is Brian O'Holler, and you're watching the Popcorn Confessional on the Nerdbox. Sounds like a porn site.
4 years after Sister Irene banished Valak, or so she thought, we saw that Valak had possessed Maurice the farmer, aka Frenchie. Maurice is now working at a boarding school where mysterious deaths begin to occur, and Sister Irene is brought in to investigate.
The Nun doesn't really make you want to go see The Nun 2. A lot of people really didn't find that movie any good, especially since we had this great introduction of Valak in Conjuring 2, and she was terrifying in The Conjuring 2. Like, that was a really good character. I love that character. We met the actress that played her just because I love that character. And then you get The Nun, and The Nun was just like very boring. Didn't have the scares that you would expect to come with a character like this. But for me, even though everybody hated it in my house, I loved the cinematography.
Well, the cinematography was good.
It's gorgeous.
The movie itself was just, eh.
I think the cinematography is what really let me maybe enjoy it a little bit. You know, seeing Maurice walk through the graveyard with the lantern and the castle scene. I thought a lot of that stuff was good. So seeing that they announced The Nun 2 was like, I don't know if it's going to be any good. Then we saw the latest trailer, and I was like, okay, it looks like they upped their game. And seeing some people's reactions, and other people were saying too, yeah, this is not like the previous one. They brought it this time. And then just before we went to go see the movie, I did a little write-up for this. And I saw the director, and that is Michael Chavez, and he did The Conjuring 3 and La
Llorona.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get lectured on screen for saying it wrong like I always do.
But people like when I lecture you.
Anyway, so The Nun 2. It instantly takes away from the cinematography because there's a lot of poor lighting. Even in the daytime, there was scenes that was like, is my contacts bad? Do I gotta request that the camera or something be changed here? Because this movie is just really dark, and it shouldn't be dark in these scenes. Like, you can barely see faces in some scenes.
So the only thing that I'm gonna chalk that up to is that late in the movie, they tell you that this boarding school used to be a winery. So that could be why there's the poor lighting, because I think that wineries, for the most part, inside are pretty dim lit.
Yeah, well, that's in the basement, definitely.
Well, I mean, that's the only thing that I can make sense of it, because, well, and there wasn't a lot of sun shining either.
Look, when there are scenes where you have characters talking, and there's the one shot where Maurice comes in to fix a cabinet, and they're not really facing the camera, they're facing the opposite way, and I'm looking behind. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Why did you make that choice?
You couldn't really see them either. Like, it was a very dark movie, as in, like, no lighting.
Yeah, and that's really just to kind of play up that, you know, you have Valak hidden in corners of the rooms or on the walls, and then she's there and then she's not there, because you're going for really just lazy jump scares at this point. It's like, oh, okay, let's look at what we did in the last one and kind of do it again. And it's just like, yeah, okay. So, as this movie was chugging along, about an hour in, I was like, oh, okay, nothing's really happened. And then I go and check my watch, and it's 30 minutes it's passed.
28 minutes, which is even worse.
Oh, yeah. This is more drawn out than the previous film.
It is. I did a lot of yawning. There was one other guy in the theater with us, and he did leave.
Yes. Twice.
He left the first time and I guess went to the bathroom and then came back and then he left again and that was it.
He left around that 30-minute mark too. So he was probably like, oh man, it's only been 30 minutes. Let me go wait and see if something else happens. And then he only made another half an hour and I said he left.
Yeah.
But, you know, we took a good character in the previous film, Maurice. I think he kind of kept people engaged in the film because he was lighthearted. I really enjoyed his character. Here, it's just a little different. They try to make him lighthearted in it and fun, but it just didn't seem like the same character.
Well, I guess that's because he was possessed, right? So, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. And then you kind of have Irene, who is, living in a convent, and things go wrong. It's like, hey, let's go get the sister and bring her in. Now, if you did not remember anything about the nun going into this movie and you weren't going to watch it, don't worry. There's a flashback scene. There's actually a lot of flashback scenes in this, which we're going to talk about in the spoilers. But there's flashback scenes that tell you everything that happened in the first movie.
Yeah.
Some of the things I still don't remember happened, and I still are in the flashback.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of the first movie, so I have to say that honestly, Valak herself, or the nun, left the biggest impression on me in The Conjuring.
Yeah, James Wan is really needed back on these other films because you can feel the void of him not directing any of these other films.
Well, what did James Wan do in this one?
Nothing. He's just a producer now.
Oh.
So you have James Wan doing Conjuring 1.
So they got his money.
Conjuring 2, and that's it. And it's just like, oh, wow, you can really tell there's no James Wan influence or overseeing making sure that these are good. So before we dive into spoilers, what do you rate this one?
I mean, I could just skip it. Or maybe take a nap to it. I don't know.
So it's good to sleep to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I could definitely sleep to it.
You're so thrown off, you don't even know the ratings anymore.
I know. I didn't fall asleep in the theater, but I came close.
For me, it's a hard nope. I would not recommend anybody going to see this in the theaters. Wait another week to...
Don't see it in the theater.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
No. Especially if you don't have like a pass. I mean, luckily we're not paying. So, I mean, if you have to go and if you have like a theater that doesn't have like discount days and you're paying 10, 15, 20 bucks for a ticket, please just skip it.
Hollywood wonders why nobody goes to the movie theaters. This was not worth $15. It's not worth a discount movie day. And it certainly wasn't worth a free pass day because I could have been doing better things with my time. Like watching paint dry.
Or we could have gone and seen The Equalizer again.
Yes. Yep. I would say wait a week and go see It Lives Inside. That's a lot better of a horror film.
It's 2 weeks before it comes out.
Oh, whatever. Whenever you watch this, go see that instead. So now we're going to talk about spoilers. As I mentioned, an hour in, I checked my watch, and it was only 30 minutes that had passed.
28.
Fast forward 30 more minutes, and the movie has to give you a flashback of what happened in the first hour. Not like you couldn't pay attention and follow what was going along, and not like other movies where at the end you get a flashback because they have this great reveal, and you have to connect all the little dots for you so you know what happened and what you may have missed.
Yeah.
No, they give you a flashback scene to explain everything to you that you already know. And it's not the first flashback to this film. There's several flashbacks referencing different parts of the movie, and it doesn't really tie to a major reveal at the end.
No, and they're just kind of thrown in there, like at times where they probably didn't need to be. I don't know. Like some of them didn't fit.
We saw at the end of Nun that Maurice was possessed. We see at the beginning of the film that he is responsible for the death of the priest, and we see him going through like awkward motions throughout the film. So this is happening in the first hour of the film, and then we get that recapped to us, like when Sister Irene's like, "Oh, I think I figured it out," and then let's flash back to all these scenes that you didn't even see. Which didn't make any sense.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, where did it fit in? I don't get it. And, you know, I just felt like it was sloppy.
Yeah.
Like,
no character has a flashback of things that happen when they put something together when they're not even around for any of those scenes.
Yeah, I just don't get it. And then like this priest that like comes in, or this head, whatever. I'm sorry. I never went to church, so I don't know their names. But like the head guy or whatever, like he summons Irene. I'm sorry. Why is Sister Irene the be all know all for like exorcising demons when she's young?
Yeah, and then she has a stowaway as her sidekick.
Right? The stowaway. The stowaway who's like barely an adult.
Yeah, it's like, I don't believe in any of this stuff, but I'm going to go and make sure that you're okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, along their journey as they're trying to figure out everything with Valak, and, you know, she's leaving a trailer bodies, which you only get to see one body. You don't get to see any of the other cool kill scenes.
No, just in pictures.
And this one kind of blows my mind, right? So they go and meet another priest with their findings.
Oh, this guy was funny, though.
And he's explaining, it's like, oh, yeah, you know, Valak is looking for these pair of eyes, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, Irene's sidekick goes, why eyes? And the priest is like, I don't know. Do I look like a librarian?
Yeah, he's like, it's a demon.
It's a demon. That's what demons do. They look for people's eyes.
I guess.
He's so confused in the movie that he is in that he don't even know what the hell is going on. Yeah, Valak just wants eyes. Yeah, that's it. I don't know why. It says it here in the book. That's what the script says.
And how about, I'm sorry, but I feel like there wasn't enough of Valak in the movie.
Yeah, again, and
I get the whole like mysterious thing, right? You're trying to keep her hidden
We've
so that
seen
she
it
scares
already.
you.
Yeah.
But why keep doing it?
Yeah.
And honestly, the scares were not that scary. The only scene I jumped at is when somebody dropped a big vase of wine and it busted. That's what made me jump. That glass breaking.
Yeah.
Nothing else was scary.
They laid everything out in Conjuring 2, and now they're just recycling, keep constantly going to the well to try to make it even more scary. And it's done, it's over. I don't need another story to explain to me. And honestly, this is like a cheap version of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Because there's a lot of things that kind of reminded me of that, because Maurice is possessed by the nun, or Valak, and there's scenes where it just reminds me of that. And there's like cheap rip-offs of The Grudge, because there's the Grudge sound that's in there. It's like, okay, if you want to throw that in there now to make it a little bit more creepier.
And I'm sorry, but what about that goat?
Yes.
The goat that was the devil and looked more like a werewolf with horns. I don't know what they were going for, but that was horrible.
Yeah, the ending is just let's throw everything at the ending. Like, so the last 15 to 20 minutes they throw everything, and it doesn't make sense because Valak is controlling Maurice. Then you have a goat running around chasing little girls.
Yeah.
And then you have the Valak, the fake Valaks just popping up all over the place to make this one girl go in the direction that she wants to. And then of course the mom at one point of the little girl that she's chasing is like, "Where's my daughter?"
Yeah,
Like,
where's Sophie? What?
it's been 10 minutes.
Yeah.
How do you just realize your daughter's not with you?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that she was with her when Sophie kind of got like lost in the mix. So how did you not notice that she just wasn't there anymore? You're with a bunch of little girls and they're all blonde. Your daughter's the only brunette and you lost her. I don't understand how that happens.
Yeah, they went the Omen route with the under the back of the neck or under the hair in that in the Omen movie where there's the crucifix upside down instead of the 3 6s. Yeah. And then of course the nun talks.
Yeah,
through
why?
Maurice. No, she's better silent. She doesn't need to talk through anybody.
And then she did a lot of growling.
Yeah,
I mean, noise is okay, but like actual growling,
yeah,
that was weird.
At one point, Maurice went after the little girl while he was possessed, and he growled, and it's like, sound like a vampire.
Yeah, I was like,
what?
And then how about how they supposedly like beat Valak with wine?
Yeah, they drowned her with wine, and she burnt up.
And she burnt up. She caught on fire, and she was gone because of wine.
This movie, I think, was made just to get you to Conjuring 4, because that's the mid-credit scene. It's a setup for Conjuring 4.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be the Valak versus Lorraine showdown. And it's probably going to be all Hollywood like Conjuring 3. So I'm not looking forward to Conjuring 4. I'm not looking forward to any other movie in this universe at this point, because they continuously get worse as they're going along now at this point. So it's like, it's almost DCEU bad. It's like, stop making them. Don't want to see any more of them. And I don't know if if they make a Nun 3, I'm probably not going to see it in the theaters.
I really don't think so. I think it'll go to some streaming like Paramount or something pretty quickly, and that's where I'll watch it. And I'm changing my vote. It's just a nope.
It's just a nope.
It's a nope. I probably wouldn't even nap to it. I just wouldn't put it on.
No, I wouldn't put it on again either. I would not torture myself or anybody to sit through this. Like, the plan was to take our daughters to see it, and then after I got out, I was like, no, I don't want to take that. I don't want to sit through it again.
No.
If they wanted to see it, fine. You go to the theater and watch it, but I'm not sitting through this again.
Yeah, they're teenagers. They've been sent to the theater, and they go with their friends or whatever. If that's something they want to do, they can do it. They have a pass too, so let them do that. But I'm not going.
Yeah, and I own the Nun, the first one, but I haven't watched it since I bought it.
Nope.
Nope.
We haven't watched it since we saw it in the theater.
No, I'll watch it one other time afterwards.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Probably one of those times when I was out with the girls or something.
Anyway, there's a couple things that you need to do, and if you like the Nun, or if you don't like the Nun, just go ahead and do the.
I'm sorry if you like the Nun and we upset you, but
Do the likes.
like,
And the
comment, share, and subscribe.
And if you do like stuff about The Conjuring, go and check out our previous episode of the Pop 5 where we delve into the true stories behind the Conjuring universe, where we originally intended to create a video where we wanted to say, yes, these are the cases that we want to see told on stories on the big screen, and oh, damn, they're mostly all fake.
Yeah, so that was a huge disappointment.
Anyway, until next.
See ya.